Yes, baby, Castorice is here, and she is something, man. She absolutely decimates. I know there was all the talk of skipping Castorice, skipping her and her beautiful big dragon here, but trust me, yeah, you're going to want Castorice. Unless you're just not a fan of her personally, then go ahead and skip her, but she's good. She is good. If you want to save for an Axa, he's also going to be pretty good, so you can definitely do that. But if you're thinking about Castorice, let me tell you what you need to get on her. Let me tell you and break down how you're going to build your Castorice. So let's start here with her kit. As you can see here, I have this little graphic on the screen. And instead of reading all the words to you, of course, you can read it all if you want to have a true grasp on her character. But basically what you need to know is her skill is going to consume 30% of the ally's HP when you use it. That's a good thing. You're going to want to consume HP because that charges up her ultimate gauge. When it is fully charged, you'll be able to launch your ultimate, which will summon your dragon, and also it will decrease all the enemies, all type resistance, by whatever percent you have it leveled up based on your trace level, but it'll decrease all the enemies, all type resistance. And then at that point, you'll be using the dragon, and you can either shoot all of its breath, scorching the enemy and then blowing up and doing a lot of damage, or you can use the breath and then use the AoE swipe attack to keep the dragon on field, to keep that all type resistance decrease for the enemy going for a little extra longer. Like if you're running a dual DPS team of mydei and Castorice, you may want to do that to let mydei take advantage of that all type resistance, or you could just blow up Castorice as making her the main DPS. You can kind of decide, play around with it, see what's going to work best for what your team and lineup are rocking. But that's basically the rundown of what you need to know about Castorice, and the fact that all of her damage is based on HP. She is an HP monster. All you're going to want is HP, crit rate, and crit damage. That's like your main goal. In terms of what to upgrade for her traces, since we're on her kit, you're going to want to fully upgrade both the Memo Sprite talent and skill. Those should be your first main priorities. After, of course, you get the bonus abilities for her. You're going to level up those. And then after that, you can level up the talent and ultimate. In time, they're kind of like equal in terms of importance. And then you can upgrade her skill. Don't even worry about her basic attack. I don't know any reason you're using her basic attack. There's no need. You don't need to bother with it. But focus mainly on the Memo Sprite first, because that's the dragon doing the big damage. That's the important stuff. Now, with her kit out of the way, we're going to move on to the actual tough part, getting what light cones, relics, ornament sets, and then what substats you should be aiming for. I've kind of already touched on that, but I'll tell you exactly, like what relic piece you're going to want, what substat for, main stat, all that. But let's start with light cones. Pretty tough for her on light cones, I'm gonna be honest. Both of them are premium options that are for remembrance. Your main one is obviously her signature light cone, the Make Farewells More Beautiful. That's her best one by far. If you're pulling Castorice, I highly recommend you pull her light cone. It is definitely important. It is her best light cone by far and away, and makes a big difference in terms of how good she's going to be. The other light cones I have are Sweat Now, Cry Less. One thing to know about this here, when we go on my account, you'll get Nameless Honor. This is where you're going to get it. And you're going to have to get the Nameless Glory. So you're going to have to spend money to get this light cone, as this is where you get it. So you can get Sweat Now, Cry Less here. If you don't want to spend money, then this is not the light cone for you. But that's how you're going to get it. And this is the second best one for her. So I would aim for her main one. If you cannot get either of these, say you used all your jade just getting Castorice, or you want to save the rest for an Axa or something, and you don't want to spend to get the Sweat Now, Cry Less, your other options are interesting. It basically comes down to whatever light cone you have gives the most HP. Don't even worry about that it won't give you the effects. It basically comes down to what light cone will give you the most HP. That's why I have post-op conversation there. Now, that's probably going to make you feel weird, because that doesn't happen really with characters, but that's kind of where we're at, unfortunately, with just how she works and what light cones are good for her. But on to relics now. Her best relic set is Poet of the Morning Collapse. Grind this. Try and get good pieces for it. That's your main goal. If you don't have any good Poet of Morning Collapse, then you can go for a kind of a two-piece of Scholar Lost in your edition with Longevous Disciple, 2 Longevous, 2 Scholar, or you could have a 2-piece Morning Collapse with a 2-piece Scholar or 2-piece Longevous. Just try and work towards the 4-piece Poet of Morning Collapse. It gives you that increase in quantum damage, as she is a quantum damage dealer. And then the interesting thing here is the 4-piece is going to decrease her speed, which you may be like, what? Why do I want her slower? Castorice is a slow character. You'll see here also, before entering battle, if the wearer's speed is lower than 110, you'll gain 20% crit rate, and if it's lower than 95 speed, you'll get 32% crit rate, and this also will apply to the memo sprite, so your dragon will also be getting this crit rate bonus. And I'll talk about the substats that you're looking for. You can see them on screen here, but I'll break them down here for a moment. But first, I just want to touch on the ornament sets. The best one is the Bone Collection Serene Demise. It is just simply the best. It increases the wearer's max HP by 12%. And when your max HP is 5,000 or higher, which Castorice is an HP scaling character, so you want it to be above 5,000, it'll increase the wearer and their memo sprite's crit damage by 28. So her and the dragon, which is exactly why you want this one. Otherwise, you can kind of run the Rudolent Arena or the Wondrous Banana Amusement Park as other options until you're able to get Bone Collection Serene Demise. Like, say your substats are just atrocious, but you have good substats on Rudolent and Wondrous Banana Amusement. You can run those, but try and get Bone Collection Serene Demise as quickly as possible. As you can see here, Castorice is really limited on kind of what you can run with her, unfortunately. She doesn't have a whole lot of options, which isn't great, but it's what we have right now for Castorice. So now let's just break down the substats, what you're going to be aiming for. On your chest piece for her, you're going to be aiming for a good old crit damage as your main stat. On the feet, because you don't want speed on her, because you want to keep her at 95 or less, you're going to want to go for HP percentage. It also helps her get more HP that way. For your orb, you can go for HP percentage or quantum damage. If you're able to give her a good amount of HP, like 7,000 plus HP, then you can maybe aim for quantum damage if you don't need that HP from the orb. But if you do need it from the orb, get that first. And then your rope, it's an HP or rope. A lot of HP here as the main stats. The substats on all of them that you're aiming for are HP, crit rate, and crit damage, as I explained a bit earlier. That's all you want. You don't want speed on them, and attack doesn't matter for her. Defense, if you get it, sure, that's helpful, I guess, you know, but your main focuses are HP, crit rate, and crit damage. That's all you're aiming for. Now, when you're able to hit 100% crit rate on her, everything else from that point forward goes towards crit damage. And you have to keep in mind that when you have her at 95 speed or less, you're going to be getting 32% extra crit rate. So really, when you're building her, all you have to aim for is a crit rate of about 68%. Once you hit that, you will be able to then just run her on any team. Doesn't matter what other units you have with her, other characters. You run her on any team, have 100% crit rate, and then put everything else into crit damage and HP so she can just obliterate and decimate all your enemies. Let's break down. Do you need more copies of Castorice? Should you go for more Eidolons? First and foremost, Light Cone comes before Eidolons. Pull the Light Cone before you start pulling for more Castorice Eidolons. I think I made that clear when talking about how limited our Light Cone options are, but it helps out so much. Get her Light Cone. Then you can start going for Castorice's bonuses here. You can see E1 here. When the enemy target's current HP is 80% or 50% of the max HP or lower, the damage dealt by Bone Claw, Doomdrake's Embrace, Claw Splits the Veil, these are names of her attacks. Breath that Scorches Shadows, Wing Sweep to Ruins, goes up 120% to 140% of the original damage, respectively. So you can see a big jump in damage from E1 there. And then E2, after summoning your dragon, you will gain 2 stacks of Ardent Will. Ardent Will stack up to 2 times and can be used to offset the HP cost of the dragon's Memo Sprite skill, Breath Scorches the Shadow. It will also advance Castorice's action by 100%, so just boot you back up to the front. And then when using the next enhanced skill, Castorice gains New Bud by an amount equal to 30% of max New Bud. So it effectively makes using your dragon just a lot more efficient and better. Now we get to Castorice's teams. Her best team is going to be Castorice, Remembrance, MC, Gallagher, or Luocha. You can do either one, and then Tribbie. I don't have Tribbie, so that's why you don't see her on the screen here, but Tribbie would fill that 4th slot there, and that would be her best team. Now, if you don't have Tribbie, who can you run instead? So like for me, you can run Ruin Mei. Slot Ruin Mei in there. The best option would be Ruin Mei E1, which, if you don't have Luocha or Ruin Mei, well, we have a great solution for that. As you know, this is the 2nd anniversary. You will receive one of these Golden Companion Spirits for just logging in. Like, you'll get one, and you can pick. You can get Luocha if you don't have him, if you want to run him instead of Gallagher, or if you don't have Ruin Mei, I would definitely take Ruin Mei if you don't have Ruin Mei at all. But if you have Ruin Mei and you don't have her E1, you can use that to get her E1, and then you can run that if you don't have Tribbie alongside the Remembrance MC, Gallagher / Locha, and Castorice. You can, of course, save it. They will add more characters. I believe it's every 2 patches they've mentioned. They'll be adding more characters. If you want to hold on to it, you can wait, but you're going to be waiting for a while. But then again, this is a very premium currency that most people probably won't be able to get again unless they give it out for free again. But those are kind of the best 2 teams. I'll show you a free-to-play option team for Miss Castorice now. That is going to be Castorice alongside Pella, the Remembrance MC, and Mr. Gallagher. Mr. Gallagher is a more free-to-play friendly option, being a 4-star, than Locha. So this is like your free-to-play best team you can run. And then your other option here, the team I'm actually running, well, so there's the mydei Castorice combo team. You can run Castorice, mydei, tribbie, and then either Gallagher or Locha. I don't have tribbie. So what I do instead is I actually run Sunday. You can run Ruin May if you want to instead. I run Sunday, mydei, Castorice, and Gallagher for the time being. When we get Hyacine, who will come out after an Axa, when we get Hyacine, she will most likely be replacing Gallagher / Locha, but she won't be out for, you know, what, another month and a half at least. So until then, you're going to be running Gallagher or Locha. But those are some options of teams you can run. If you have a different team that you feel works really well, feel free to let me know in the comments, let other people know. But that is everything you need to know about Castorice. Again, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Good luck on your pulls if you have not pulled yet, or you're still pulling. I wish you the best in pulling her and her like cone and as many copies of her as you want. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, all the good stuff. Don't forget to check out my Twitch for live streams. We were live last night, pulling for and whatnot. Those will be going live on the channel as well. Or the video of them will be coming out. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. Hope you all are staying happy and healthy, having the best of days, getting the best luck, enjoying Honkai Star Rail, and I'll see y'all in the next video.